Hello, folks. Welcome to my very first Sunday stream. um, I'm not going to waste much time. I'm basically playing the same list that I played on Thursday, and we're just going to try to get a match win out of it this time around. Yeah, there's a couple things I want to think about while I'm playing. Oh, well, that didn't take very long. Is I shared with some people earlier about the potential of playing a second Lauren again. I don't really know where I would make the cut, but I want to keep an eye out for how many matchups I play where another Lauren in my deck would be nice to have. Um, I think that's really the main thing. I also really want to keep an eye on how often this Fairy Macabre comes up because I think it's probably one of the weaker cards in my sideboard. I know why it's there. It's basically because you need a recruitable card against Reanimator, but I don't know. Just hasn't really been coming up very much at all. So I want to make sure that I can't get more value out of that card than I am getting so far. This hand is a pretty easy keep for me. We got plenty of mana. We got an Aether Vial, Source of Plowshares for anything spooky, and then Recruiter can be anything. Could even be a Recruiter. Taiga lands. It is lands. Gross. Really don't want to see lands, and yet I keep seeing it. Like, I think I've played against it most of my leagues in the past couple weeks. It's pretty annoying. Alright, let's see if we can tag something with this Thoughtseize. Hopefully it's not a Life from the Loam, but yeah, this is definitely a matchup where we wish we had the red Micro Splash for Magus of the Moon. Annoying that we don't have it, but not much to do about it. So they have Grove Punishing Fire already, but we can at least get rid of the crop rotation. It's one of the few cards that we can realistically Thoughtseize later on in the game anyway, so getting rid of it here so that they have kind of like, I mean, their hand is good, let's be real, but it's not like necessarily threatening us right now, so we'll see. Thank you, cute anime Della Ella. Sorry if I got that wrong at all, but I am glad to make your Sunday a little bit better. Playing some D&T right before the work week starts. Another Thoughtseize. That doesn't really do anything. I think I'm just going to keep it in my hand for a while, and I'll eventually it's going to probably hunt for a crop rotation or something like that. Now, what do we get with this Recruiter? I'm leaning towards getting Lion Sash. I can Vial in Sash. I don't want to do it this turn, but I can do it once I've untapped on my next upkeep. Vial in Sash. I'll have 2 white mana open, so that they won't be able to Punishing Fire it, and then I'll be putting another white source into play. I think I just need to, because this is all they have going on. I think just dealing with Loam and Punishing Fire here just both seem really good. So Punishing Fire on the Recruiter? Sure. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. I appreciate that a lot. So we have to play very carefully with this Sash because it's just the only thing we even have going on. All right, so they have Punishing Fire back, and they're just passing. Okay. So Sash is still safe. Thank you so much for the follow. Arcanto's Awaken. Get that right? So I can safely Violet in here because I have 2 lands in my graveyard. So if they try to Punishing Fire it, we're fine. Nice. Oh, interesting. I did not anticipate that. I forgot that Soul Guide Lantern like has text. And they're pretty smart for sussing that out, so let me think about this. Yeah, so they only have 1 permanent. So yeah, I think I lose here because I blink first, unfortunately, but yeah. And then I'll hit the Soul Guide Lantern, I guess. Yeah, stream on Sundays at least for a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I should have been more wary of that Soul Guide Lantern's ability to mess with this. Thalia doesn't actually look too bad here. Basically takes their whole turn next turn if they draw a land. It's not great, but I think with Sash already dealt with, we don't have a lot going on that's good, unfortunately. We kind of just need to hope they stumble a bit. If we can find a Wasteland for the... I guess Wasteland for Grove doesn't matter. They have Loam in their hands, so... So they can Loam for Depths here if they want to. They can get Punishing Fire back, but they can't cast it. Which means that if we like waste... I'm going to tick up here, I think. Because, yeah, we just need to get Yorin into play to pressure them. Darn. Okay. I was going to say, one funny thing is if we wasteland... If we find a wasteland off of that draw step, we could actually Thoughtseize the Punishing Fire and then just wasteland the Grove. And kind of set them back quite a bit there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, but oh well. I could Thoughtseize to get the Punishing Fire. It would waste... It means they would have to again spend their whole turn getting back Punishing Fire and using it on the Thalia. That's probably not worth it. I think I just want to put Yoran in my hands. Well, again, we'll wait on the Thoughtseize and cast it when we're looking for like a crop rotation or something like that. I think I would be more into wasting that mana if they had the second lands to cast the Loam. But since they don't, Pithing Needle, well, that's annoying. Nothing we could let about that, so. Let's just draw Skyclave, like right now. We could Skyclave the Needle, Yori on it, then Skyclave the Mox Diamond or something. Okay. That, unfortunately, doesn't help us much. I could get like a Batterskull at least. Good thing to cast if we draw another lands. Oh yeah, Trilith, what card are you thinking of? Is it the same one that I'm thinking of? Cause yeah, Canoptek Scarab Swarm would be pretty nice here, wouldn't it? Oh, of course they draw Maze. Gross. Oh, we have a lot of good draws. Wasteland is kind of one of them. They did already answer Sash, yeah, unfortunately. I kind of goofed with it, unfortunately. I forgot that Soul Guide Lantern has text. It's basically a spot where like it was safe from punishing fire as long as I didn't have to be the one to blink first, and then I forgot that Soul Guide Lantern could then exile my graveyard, which is where all of the permanents were, so that I had to be the one to try to activate, and then that gave them the opening to punishing fire at. So, okay, Loam got cast on what was Wasteland and Dark Depths. Yeah, sure. So they have a lot of scary top decks, but I'm just gonna put another 4-power creature into play. They loam into not a whole lot. Um, Notably, they can kill the germ, so we aren't actually dealing them any damage yet. Um, right, because they have Grove in their hands. They have Punishing Fire in their hands, so they can cast it, get it back, cast it again. Although they can't if they do. No, they can because now they're just playing 2 lands. Never mind. There's a chance I wanted to reset Vial there. It's something I very, very rarely ever do. Mostly it doesn't matter because the needle's on it anyway. Um, but yeah, I could see it being better if it's back on 3 as opposed to on 5. Interesting. I'll just bounce Batterskull into my turn. Okay, they have they have Karakas and Stage. That was a good dredge. Yeah, these 3 blanks. I guess these 4 blanks are not really doing me any favors here. They don't. Oh, they're right. They have double exploration. Yeah. So never mind. Yeah. We're not dead to the Merit Lage, nor are we dead to the next one, but we don't really have a coherent plan here. Yeah. This does not feel good. I think they're too set up here for us to have any good draws, unfortunately. Sash just kind of like is the only good card, the only like really good card we have in our main deck. So I think at this point we're just kind of under the gun of they're going to play Stage, Depths, and Saga every turn. Scarab Swarm would be amazing here. It would change the game quite a bit. But unfortunately, that card doesn't exist on Moto yet. So we'll take one more draw step and then we'll probably scoop. We have a lot more to like post board. Although we don't have Magus, unfortunately, so. Yep. Yeah, that just doesn't do anything. Like we'll live a turn, but it doesn't. We're not making any progress still. So it was quite a board state, wasn't it? All right, Council Judgment, decent. Rest in Peace is great. Opposition Agent is great. All these are great. And then I think about Fairy Macabre. Thalias are very stinky. I don't like Jite either. Batterskull is fine, just has like a bigger threat, but isn't like super good. I think I'd probably rather have Macabre in my deck over one of the Bowmasters. Things will change a bit when we're on the draw, because then I'm going to board out some number of Thoughtseize, but I think that this looks about right to me. I'm going to not board in Mindbreak Trap, but I appreciate the input as always. Nope, this hand is not it. It is very slow and doesn't have anything of what we're looking for. And this hand is like the exact same problems, except worse, because it doesn't have Recruiter in it. Has a Vial, it has a Wasteland. We could keep this just mostly off of hoping that Wasteland gets there and that like every card that we draw is likely to be live. Yeah, the 7 was unkeepable. This 6 I think is closer, but it's really not good. We really need our first couple of draws to be super high impact. But at least like if their hand has flaws, then like we're in an okay spot. It's just I'm not sure how likely we are to win from with a 5 against lands in general, since we don't really have any of those like super impactful bullets. They did keep 7, yeah, which is not good for us. I think I'm gonna try this. I'm not even remotely excited about it, but I'm gonna give it a shot. That's just fucked up. That's not okay. You played just a plain old forest into the needle that you drew again. Oh my god. And I'm just gonna draw all sorts of pleasures. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe they drew the vial both times, or drew the needle both times. It's the worst. I kind of glossed over it, so I want to talk about this fetch that I did real quick. It's just one. They have one that they get that they just tutor up with Urza Saga when they need it. This Marsh Flats could have gotten a swamp. I definitely don't want to get a scrubland when I know they have a wasteland. My feeling is that the black cards that are not super impactful here in not, oh my god, not good in the matchup in general. So what I really wanted to do was make sure that I was going to have double white because a lot of my really important spells are double white. We then drew the planes and would have been fine, but like since I knew this Karakas isn't going to stay around very long. Um, well, every one of my draw steps has just been awful. I feel like we have to play the wasteland because we need to get to a point where we're like casting spells, and if they waste our waste, at least we get to hit their taiga. Maybe that's bad. The thing is, they don't have. If they had like an Urza Saga, they would have just played it from their hand. I'm not sure. It's just definitely a long-term losing proposition, but also it's the only way I'm ever going to cast a 5-drop. So I'm just going to try it. Opposition Agent would be the one argument against it. I think since it's only a one of, and the white spells just are mostly quite good, I think it's just not worth the not worth the risk in the short term. I'm going to draw Opposition Agent next turn, and you're going to be right. But until then, I think I like my choice. I'm going to keep this on 3 this time. Well, that can be a swamp. Alright, keeping this on 3. We'll get the swamp. Well, we get to cast Yorion without exposing the Karakas, so I'll take it. I also like Skyclave Apparition. Loran would also be great. Really, I just want a card that does anything. I've drawn like... Yeah, Swords, Vial, 4 lands. Deck is not being cooperative, but thankfully their hand doesn't really have a plan. Okay, with the loam, it kind of does now. That's a problem. Well, we're going to deal him some damage. It's possible I'm supposed to just have cast this vial by now. The reason not to is mostly like Force of Vigor, but they're not going to use it like anytime soon, so I don't know. They loamed into a Yavimaya. They're going to make my lands annoying. Hit Punishing Fire, but no Grove, so we're fine there. No, it's the worst. Anytime my opponent plays Javamire Urborg, I'm just so upset. Is this a Punishing Fire? Yeah, that makes sense to be something that was stuck in their hand. So Scrubland, huh? Well, don't really want to play that. I am going to play this second Vial at this point. They dredged into garbage. Just another loam and 2 artifacts. So I'll take that. Am I playing Dark Maverick? No, I would never, unfortunately. Okay. Okay, deck. I have drawn no relevant cards for 8 draw steps. This is unbelievable. They dredge into another loam and a blast zone. Okay. We got there. Well, alrighty then. I guess. So cut some number of Thoughtseize on the draw because basically the only card that you really want to tag is like it's like Exploration is like the most important card to get with Thoughtseize. The rest are just like kind of bad. So you really don't want to draw them lately or draw them later in the game. So I think we just want to leave it at that. I do not want to board in because it kills Miralaze. Yeah, very, very funny. Well, this I've Swords to Plowshares. Go away. This is not the matchup for you. This hand has Sash in it, and my opponent is mulling to 6. This Batterskull is stinky, and I don't like this basic swamp to go along with this Sash, so I'm not sure if this hand is actually worth keeping. I do have a Karakas. I'm just worried that Sash is like the only good thing that we have going on. And our white mana here is very awkward. I think we go to 6, yeah. We finally have 3 drops. This is definitely better. It's not good, but it is better. My opponent's thinking about their 6. I think if they go to 5, I'm going to 5 with them. They're not going to 5. I think I keep this. And I'm putting back the Scrublands, not the swamp. But yeah. I'm not happy about this in any sense. But they keep not playing Urza Saga, so maybe things will be okay. Is a Lauren target. It's going to be it's Skyclave is going to get it over Lauren because Lauren's just going to be around for hitting Saga, but yeah, you can't just like play lands that make a bunch of mana and then do nothing. This could be a crop rotation for sure, but I am also feeling pretty dead to a 2020. Yeah, we're dead to a 2020. The one time we don't have Swords to Plowshares in our hands. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's lands for you, I guess. Oh yeah, it's not even. I don't think they're supposed to do it, but here we are. They were not playing like they're particularly experienced, so I'm not surprised that we won the game the way that we won it and lost that game the way that we won it. I'm also the Saga never came up in the first game, partially because we took their crop rotation, but I don't know. There's You're not supposed to win with Merit Lage. We just keep our deck was not cooperating. This hand works. This hand is just pretty good. Now for my favorite new thing to do, get to play D&T with perfect information. Volcanic Island, so it looks like Delver. What do I want to take here? I think I'm just going to take the Bowmasters. Taking Bowmasters kind of forces them to force the Thalia, which means that we can then resolve the Stoneforge after that. Yeah, we'll take the Bowmasters. I don't think this hand is the nuts. It's quite good. I think the main flaw is that it doesn't actually have any removal. And Lauren might not. It doesn't have removal. Lauren might not have targets. It doesn't. We're playing against Delver. And this Jite is not great in this hand that doesn't have a lot of mana in it. So. They chose not to shuffle off of the Ponder. Hopefully we draw a land next turn, and then we can play Thoughtseize into Stoneforge. Interesting. Could have found another Bowmasters, certainly. That smells a lot like a Bowmasters. Yeah, see, this is like an exact problem that this hand's going to run into, is that it kind of needs to draw lands, and then we didn't. And so now things are kind of bad. Not bad, but they're a lot worse than they could be. Interesting. I think I just want to Thoughtseize them again, since I know they have the Force, and I like this hand needs this Stoneforge to resolve. So I'm gonna go for it. I don't like just passing as opposed to Thoughtseize. I think you're either casting Thoughtseize or Stoneforge. Snuff out. Okay. Okay. Sure. It does not make it Shadow. Shadow does not play Volcanic Islands. Actually, more. I guess there was a red splash list. I don't think it played Volk. I think it just played Shocklands. But Shadow definitely does not play Bauble. And there's a Delver. Yep. Yeah. Now we have to make this get answered, and they have a force. They did play the Scalding Tarn, so we don't really know anything. Force pitches force. Okay. Delver didn't flip. There we go. I think I'm just going. I think I just want to put the Wisp in front of the Delver before we cast the Recruiter. Yeah. No one has told me that. No. What am I? I'm like the Wasteland, I guess. I have gotten a lot of comments on my voice in general. I have not gotten that one specifically. I haven't heard a lot of Jorb's voice, but I do sort of hear it. Yeah. They didn't use Bauble to help with their Delver. Okay. Hopefully they didn't draw Bowmaster as their non-spell. Looks like they did not. Lands would be... No, of course. I would have loved to have tried to Jite them. As is, I think we're just recruiting for... I don't know what we're recruiting for. Definitely Merit to Stoneforge. Merit to Solitude. Skyclave. I'm less into Skyclave because I'm really worried about this Scrubland getting wasted. But I think that we're going to have enough time here for Stoneforge to be good. And we have the swords in hands. The only concern is really going to be if this Wisp doesn't actually get to stay in front of this Delver. Depends on how quickly they find a removal spell for it. Because I really want to save this swords for something I can't just beat through combat like a Murktide or something like that. Force of Negation. Interesting. Okay, yeah. They're shuffling it away. That makes sense. Do they have Sanctuary in their deck? That'll be interesting to see. Nope. Deal. Okay. What do we got? Plains. Okay. Plains is very, very nice to see. I don't hate just going for Jite here. If they had a Bowmaster, it would have been used. If they had any removal, it would have been used. It lets us get this Delver out of play for sure. It threatens to get rid of the DRC here, and then yeah. I think if we don't, then this Swords is going to be under a lot of pressure. So I should just do this. Deal? I'll kill the DRC instead then. Okay. That makes more sense. And they flip a Force to the Delver, but they don't have a bully card yet. But yeah, that was pretty absurd last card. What do we got? Mesa. What does that do? Can Swords the DRC. Alright, I think we have to plan this turn out. We have to plan this sequence out really tight. So, Swords the DRC, cast Stoneforge, cast Jite. Stoneforge is going to get a... Let me think. If Stoneforge gets a Kaldra, we can get Jite counters right after. Which we need because we can't block anything with Batterskull to gain life. So it's either Kaldra or Sash. But it doesn't look like we're anywhere close. Yeah, we're not going to be anywhere close to turning the DRC offline. So, we're actually going to be at 4 because we're going to take one from the fetch. So I think we get Kaldra. Yeah. That actually probably should have been another scrub land there. Because now if they waste our scrub land and then we draw a Bowmaster, then we're going to be very sad about that. Because that could be an answer for the Brazen Borrower that we won't have. Alright, we go to 4. The turn... After they put us to 4, Kaldra goes in, equip, attack. We can kill the Borrower and keep 1 counter back to stay at 6. So we're dead to Bolt after that, but only Bolt. What? What's going on? And there's the Bowmaster. It's not going to matter this turn, though, because... I mean, even if they didn't read Borrower, like, they're not... Blocking is really bad for them. Yeah, I'm not doing anything else because otherwise I just lose to the Force of Will that I know they have. So okay, we're alive. Get rid of the Borrower. I was also thinking about Wastelanding. I'm not sure what color I want to take them off of. Or not off of, but don't worry, Lackey. That's where my head was at, which would further make them not attacking confusing. But yeah, red for double bolt actually makes sense. Yeah. Yep. There's just no shot they cast 2 black spells that matter. Bowmaster. Okay. So that's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're dead to 1 bolt regardless, and don't really have a reason to do anything. So we're dead to bolt. We are also dead to bowmasters, right? Because they'll hit us to 5. Yeah, we're definitely dead to bowmasters. No, I'm not. Right, because they ping me to 7, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is the 7th is the damage is the ping. Oh, right. Yeah, never mind. I'm just, yep. Yep, you're right. I'm dumb. Cauldra, huh? Or Murktide, huh? If they don't block, they're dead. It's the only hope I have. Cool, they're dead. All right, I'll take it. These cards are great. The cards that are not so good are... Cauldra was a good tool that game. It tends to not be what you want, though. So I'm going to cut that, cut Lauren, because they don't have any artifacts or enchantments usually, and then we cut Thalia's because the tax just doesn't matter in tempo matchups. You just want to make sure that your cards are trading with theirs directly as much as possible. I don't know, Trilith. Nah, I'm good. Yes, I should have attacked with the Stoneforge for all of the reasons you mentioned. This hand with 2 wastelands is a little sketchy, but this hand also has a lot of things we want, notably Rest in Peace. So I'm going to keep. Sure. I am very glad you learn every time. That's the goal here, honestly. So really, really glad to hear that. Timeless Dragon is a card I have considered bringing back. It's a lot harder to find. Yeah, the black white list is just so tight. You also don't need it as much, specifically because the black white curve is a lot lower. Another wasteland, huh? Well, unfortunately, against my Alliance Ash Rest in Peace hands, they drew 2 Delvers, so now we just have to Cross our fingers. All right, we got there. Interesting, interesting. Um, I could double waste them. The problem is that it means that it's going to be even harder for me to cast spells that deal with these Delvers once they flip. I don't have any spells that deal with it, but I think that sort of even accentuates the point that like when I have to top deck, I have to cast them as soon as they draw them, and double wasting um, is makes that a lot harder. I am also thinking about just casting the Sash. Um, yeah, I am going to do that actually. This at least puts us in a position where we actually might be able to race them. It's not super likely, but it's greater than 0 chance. Brainstorm. Okay. And they draw another Wastelands? Gross. I don't want to waste them this turn, I think, because I think this is really where I want to make sure that I'm going to have 3 mana next turn in case I draw a DRC or a Recruiter. So they're hitting us down to 6. Next turn, we're going to hit them down to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can hit them down to 3, potentially. We unfortunately are losing this race as it is, though. Alright, so we 100% need to draw an answer for a Delver and have it resolve. That is not it. Yeah, we're out of here. Yeah, that is the risk of those hands. If they just cast Delvers, your graveyard hit doesn't matter. But it's not. It happens to me all the time. I feel like it's not actually supposed to happen that much. It's like literally every Rest in Peace hand I have is like Delver. This hand, if this was a basic swamp or a fetch land, I would be 100% on. I think now I'm just like 90% on. I think this hand is still quite good. Thoughtseize isn't like amazing against Delver, but the goal is just to trade 1 for 1 with everything that they do. as quickly as you can, because then your better top decks will win you the long game. So still happy to cast Thoughtseize, particularly when I have a removal to back it up, so that I should be under not too much pressure in the long run. So interesting. So I'm gonna let them Thoughtseize Surgical me and take the Bowmasters. No, I'm gonna let him do it. Okay, I don't know if I want to draw 3 Thoughtseize. Yep, so I guess I'll play the Wasteland first. Do I even want to Wasteland them? I think I don't. Yeah. I guess now I kind of wish I did, but um, the Brainstorm here matters way more. The Bowmaster is going to be annoying if I don't, depending on like what my draw steps look like. But I think I just like let them, you know, just let them raise the alarm against me, and I'll be happy that that's all they're doing. It's possible we didn't, and I should have just waited until I had the information. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just gonna hold on this Thoughtseize for a bit, because who knows if they just drew a land here. I also don't want to deal myself too much damage when I'm about to get Bowmastered and don't immediately have an answer for it. DRC is a bit annoying. Caracas. So last card isn't a land, but this is now 3 damage, so it's at right now 5, likely to be more like a 3-turn clock. So I think we just have to put Yorion in our hands. We could waste the volcanic islands. It just... I'm just worried about... that also actually... okay, I definitely don't. That gives them Delirium, so... That... that takes away any possibility. Okay, sure. They were going to hit it anyway, but yeah, I also think we just need to hit 5 mana. We really need to get the Solitude into play. Love to see that. I'm going to get a scrubland, and then I'm going to Solitude in their upkeep. Another lands, that's good for me. They don't have a Bowmasters, that's also good for me. Nice. So I'll just attack and then I'll punish the double block. This looks like a Murktide, potentially. Yeah, okay. I'll keep this on 3. And now we are A-okay. Just needed to draw a land to cast it through a daze, and there is nothing to be concerned about at all. All right, cool. We've officially did not go 0-5 tonight. Mission accomplished. Yeah, Bowmasters are very expensive. I haven't picked any of mine up yet. I have one normal foil, but I haven't gotten any of the others yet. I'm like borrowing everything I need for Eternal Weekend and for weeklies, so I'm not like under the gun, but gotta get him eventually. That's true, we couldn't draw another Swords. Impossible to win. Hey, Strash Daddy, thanks so much for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Hope you had a good stream. Thank you, Luminaxes, for the follow. I'm going to keep this for sure. City of Traders, huh? Well, good thing I have a vial in my hands. Very annoying how the amount of Blood Moons I played against like tripled as soon as I started playing a splash list of this deck. Is this a Chalice on 1? Well, good thing I got this vial out. Hey Mario, how's it going? Bowmasters. I can cast that now. All thanks to this vial, I think we're gonna be okay. Okay, that also was an insanely good draw. Alright, we're gonna be okay for a number of reasons. I lied to all of you. We'll just get a Stoneforge and pass. And everything's gonna be A-okay. I'm just gonna take this damage, I think. Oh, especially if they're only attacking with the token. It's only a question of if they attack with both, I could like offer the trade for the war boss. Actually, maybe I'm supposed to. This Bowmaster's not going to do anything. Yeah, I'm actually going to I will offer that trade if they go for it. Yeah, they are thinking real hard about this one. There they go. Okay. Mentor resolves, and I will double block. Another Blood Moon. You got it. Gonna get a Batterskull. Sure. Right? I have so many mountains. There's only like, I think 2 other mountains I could play. It's Arid Mesa and my 1 Iganjo. The reason that I like Batterskull is that like a lot of Moonstompy lists like literally can't beat it. Like the only way they realistically win most games is if they swarm the board really fast. And Batterskull is very good against that. This is definitely a situation where I probably could very easily win through Cauldron also. Um, but the life that I'm going to gain off of the Batterskull is going to kind of make it so that it doesn't even matter what happens from now on. Yeah, the the only card that really changes the math on it at all is uh what is the word that I'm trying to think of? It's the choose 3 card. 4 mana one. I'm blanking on it right now. We're gonna activate Stoneforge. Pick up Batterskull. Fiery Confluence. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Fiery Confluence shattering Batterskull is like the only card where that really changes it for the most part. The game will probably end faster this game would certainly be ending faster if I got a Cauldron. I don't think it's gonna. I think the chance that it ends not in my favor is basically 0. The reason to activate Stoneforge first is if you pick up Batterskull and then activate Stoneforge, then if they have a removal spell for the Stoneforge, then it kind of messes up that combo. They're on 0 cards. There's no way that it's going to happen. I just do it out of habit because there's no downside to doing it that way, and huge upside in a lot of very important scenarios. I'm going to pick this up. This turn, I might just Violent Skyclave on one of the Blood Moons. Or no, I won't because there's multiple, so never mind. Okay. But I do just want to clock them a bit faster. So I think I'll put it in on the Chalice, actually, since I'll flicker that and not give them an illusion later. And I'll take this up to 5. Or am I taking it up to 5? Yeah, I am. So many mountains. Sure. You got me. Yeah, also, I have drawn like a million lands, haven't I? Okay, take up to 5. See what we draw. Recruiter. That's great because now we can just recruit for a Solitude. There's a Solitude. Goodbye to Caves of Chaos Adventurer. And then this game continues to be very over. I'll take a Plains, thank you very much. Mm-hmm. You got it. Stay on 5. This game is so over. I'm just gonna put counters on my Solitude. Oh, it sure is. Here, let me fix that. There you go. My Moto stuff keeps getting resized, and I'm not sure why. Oh, they were just dead. I'm making this more complicated. No, I guess not. Not quite dead, but... Oh no, I have to pay 3 for this Mother of Runes. Okay. Six mana might be another... They played it instead of casting it. Oh no. I'm so sorry, friend. It didn't matter, but that is pretty funny. We don't have much for this matchup. Council's Judgment. Battle of Bywater is okay. It's not great, but it does answer some things. Cards that I like cutting are Thalia's, basically. Sometimes I cut Kaldra in this matchup for the reasons that we mentioned earlier. It's just like you have to... The situations where Kaldra is better than Batterskull, most of them are you're ahead, and there are very few where you're behind. So I usually like cutting Kaldra in this matchup, similar to the reasons I cut it against Delver. This might be good enough. Any game on the draw is going to be a little stressful since we don't get to crack a fetch land first, but I guess that's, I get to learn what it's like to have to play a deck that doesn't just have 17 planes in it, so... That is the answer, right? Well, that's a little concerning. Um, I don't think we can keep this because it is both bad against Blood Moon and bad against Chalice on one, which is, and Trinisphere, which is, you know, the two main things to look at when playing against them, and we're bad against both. Um, I guess we're not like miserable to Blood Moon. We can at least cast the Vial, but like not being able to cast the swords is pretty bad, and everything's a 3-drop, which is just very slow. So I think we just need a hand that's much more stable. This works. It's annoying we don't have a black source. I'm just gonna keep it and bottom the Thoughtseize, since by the time I get black mana, I'm probably gonna need it to just be stuff to put onto the board. So. Null Rod. Deal. That previous hand also pretty bad against Null Rod. We could have at least gotten a Plains in play, but not much after that, so. Then you just pass, huh? The Null Rod's not that good, friend. I'm sorry. Can Stompy? I guess they don't. They only have like the Chrome Moxen, I guess. But there's also like Unlicensed Tourist potentially. Fury Pitch Blood Moon. Sure, sure, sure. I'll save the Stone Forge here because that's the important part. Okay. Deal. Another Ancient Tomb. That's not good for you either. All right. I'm going to keep the fetch uncracked. Don't really mind drawing more lands right now, so. But I will now crack it, and I'm going to recruit for... I'm not even sure. I think I'm just going to recruit for a Skyclave. Actually, a lore. Most of the things that I like Skyclaving, I guess, like, I have swords for creatures. Most of the things I really like Skyclaving are just like, you know, stuff like Null Rod and Fable and things like that. And I especially since I have Karakas in play. So Ancient Tomb 6. They're about to be able to cast like use like none of them. I'm gonna keep mana up because there's a chance that I'm just gonna get to Bowmaster them for lethal if they try to use their mana. Nice Chrome Mox you can't use. I was thinking about this. Yep, yep, Correct, and that's kind of why I didn't even bother learning the Null Rod. Yep, alright, cool. Stompy defeated. For the most part, it is. If for mono white, it's like very good for the splash builds, it's a little sketchier because their blood moons actually matter. But your overall strategy is still good. Interesting hands. Much better hands. I'll put one of the wastelands on the bottom. So this vista is very much earmarked for a swamp. Uh-oh, what does that mean? Okay, cradle control. Damn. I was so excited to Bowmaster their Hierarch or whatever. But no such thing happening here. I will cast the Thalia. Yes, getting a swamp. Thalia isn't likely to do much, but that's okay. Okay, Thalia's gonna do nothing. Whatever. I was trying to cast a Grist here. Oh, right. Grist is a... Oh, that's actually pretty good for me. So I can... We can just Bowmaster the Insect, attack Grist down to 2, and waste the Karakas so the Thalia stays in play. Seems pretty good. I guess the concern with wasting... I think I have to, just because Grist in play is such a problem that I think I just need to keep the Thalia here. They're going to have 1, 2, 4 mana with the Cradle. This is a deck called Cradle Control. At least that's what the creator of the deck calls it. It's basically like elves, but not elves. I'm sure none of that helps. Well, that Fiend Artisan is kind of a problem, but there's not much that we can do about it here. Yeah, I think we just have to cast Jitte to try to start controlling this board. We could recruit for like a Skyclave, but I don't think like a single Skyclave does enough to actually make some headway. I guess the problem is the Reclaimer is going to be a 3/4, so the Jitte is going to be even harder to use after that. I'm not sure. If only we had... I really wanted to draw a white card here, because then I could recruit for Solitude and get rid of the Fiend Artisan. And then things look like a little bit easier from there. Hmm. But maybe I'm supposed to just like Recruiter, next turn, cast Skyclave, turn after that, put Yorn in my hands, and then hope that removing a bunch of stuff after that is good enough. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards that actually being what we have to do. A person by the name of Hello Newton. That is their name on at least Magic Online and Twitch. I think basically everywhere else. He basically took like the combo elves like the nettle elves shell. He put Elvish Reclaimer into it over Nettle Sentinel, and then kind of like went into an entirely different direction that doesn't really combo at all. Mill the Natural Order. I like that for me. I hate this. Yeah, okay, we're just getting Crater Hoofs. Yep, okay. Sure. Cards I like in this matchup. I like Council's Judgments. I like Opposition Agent a lot. This card is extremely good. And I'm gonna think about Battle of Bywater. I usually in this matchup just cut Thalia's because Thalia doesn't do basically anything, and I think I'd rather have battles than Thalia's to just has extra removal spells for like the bigger Fiend Artisans. Gets Reclaimer also, so I think that's probably good enough. The deck is it's usually pretty much a fine matchup. Our cards just didn't quite line up there. A turn 2 Grist out of their hand is just hard to beat basically always, unless you have an immediate answer for it. But I think that this will work. She sure is. This hand is okay. It doesn't pressure particularly well, but hopefully they play a mana dork that isn't a halfling this time, and we can bowmaster that, and then that's gonna feel pretty good for slowing the game down. But we have a recruiter, we have opposition agent in our deck, which is going to be huge. I think this hand is reasonable enough. Also, even if they don't cast a mana dork, maybe they'll cast a fiend artisan, which we can also get with bowmasters on the first turn, or the first turn it's in play, as long as we haven't killed one of their other things. So there honestly might be an argument for, even if they do play a turn 1 hierarch, just letting it live so that bowmaster can answer a fiend artisan, because that's the card that matters, not the mana dorks. It's just a question of like, will bowmaster be able to answer something else? All right, cool. We don't have to think about it because we're just getting halflinged anyway. Solitude feels good. I may keep Mom in my hands this turn just to have another card to like have the card to pitch the Solitude around, because I really don't want to be in a position where I have to give up this recruiter. Reclaimer, okay. Soul Cauldron. Interesting. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I think I'm holding Bowmasters in my hand then. No reason to put it into play here. No third land here. Kind of sucks. But we'll see. It does make killing Fiend Artisan harder if there's a creature in the graveyard, which thankfully there isn't yet. So we'll see. Oh, that's what you mean. Okay, got it. Yep. Is this for a grist? Is for a grist. Okay. I think this is good enough reason to hit that insect, untap. Let's see. So we can Skyclave the Grist. We're probably supposed to. Where are we? Yeah, we're supposed to Skyclave the Grist here. Skyclave Grist, cast Stoneforge. And I think in this on this board we probably just want to get Kaldra. Although Sash is sort of interesting against Soul Cauldron, but we're kind of in a spot where it doesn't look like many things are going to get to the graveyard anyway. And I just want to make sure that I kill them fast. Player removal does deal with it well. It's a very important mechanic. Black mana, huh? Unblack mana. Ungreen mana. Decay on the Stoneforge. Bummer, but I'll live with it. No. Kaldra does not exile things that went to the graveyard. It exiles creatures that it doesn't kill through combat. So I'm going to tick this vial up to 2 in response to this one because I want to go up to 5. I'm going to recruit for a Stoneforge again. It is not a replacement effect. It is a trigger. It triggers when if someone triple blocks and they all die, you get 3 triggers on the stack that do nothing. It's kind of annoying, but that's how it is. So this is a good opening to put Yorion into our hands, and then I think we're just passing. We could attack with Skyclave, but I don't really think I want to offer them that trade. Especially with the Yorion coming into play next turn, So they will get the put an equipment into play ability and turn that into a 2/3. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, that's why I can't attack, so never mind. kind of fine with this, I think. I'm tempted to get Sash here just to have another white card. But that might not be right. No, I'm just gonna get Jite. Grab Lauren, Stoneforge. Oh, they just scoop. Okay. I think the reason I don't want to is the Soul Cauldron just isn't really doing much as it is. So, again, I just want to cast my player removal. That's what Stoneforge mostly is. So, well, we got a good old 6-lander. It has the right 7th card, but it is still a 6-lander. This is better. Hopefully we'll get to kill something that matters with Eiganjo, I guess. I'll put a Mesa back. Yeah, I think that the thing with this deck is that it doesn't actually use Soul Cauldron. It is just Soul Cauldron is a way to deal with a way to be more resilient through your opponent's non-exile removal, of which I have almost none. The only other way they're really like doing stuff with Cauldron is Grist getting lucky mills on stuff that's kind of cool, and that's about it. I am going to let the Reclaimer stay in play because I'm okay if they spend their mana doing Reclaimer things, and I really need to make sure I have removal for like Fiend Artisan. But yeah, they just don't really have a way to like abuse Soul Cauldron at all. So, I mean, we saw in that game it took 3 turns for them to get 1 counter with an ability of mine that didn't matter. I could waste the Bayou here. I think I don't want to do that because I'd rather get to the point where this Eiganjo is doing something, and I might waste like a maybe those like play a Cradle, and I can waste that. Reclaimer also just makes every wasteland feel kind of temporary in a weird way. Halfling, sure. And they had another Bayou. Yeah, perfect. So this Reclaimer... Oh, it is attacking. Okay. Nope, it's not attacking. That makes more sense. Okay. I'm going to get a scrub land. There's not really any punishment for non-basics in this matchup. Okay, deck. Sure. Yeah, I still don't really want to wasteland anything, so I'll just play any other lands, and hopefully, again, Eiganjo gets something. Bowmasters. Sure. Attack with everything, please. Attack with nothing? I guess. I guess they're just really afraid of what could come on off that vial. Little do they know, I have actually nothing. Okay. I meant to fetch here. Okay. That's something. I'll play the Wasteland out this time, and then I just need to get the Skyclave on the board mostly. I think I'm just gonna get rid of the Soul Cauldron so I don't have to think about it. Because the Reclaimer is still a ways off from being a 3/4. Although this Cauldron is still kind of just blank. So maybe, yeah, never mind. I'm just getting rid of the Reclaimer. Also, they didn't activate Reclaimer in response to that. That's kind of odd. Let's get all these dumb lands out of my deck. I don't want any of them. Okay. I'll put Yorin in my hand here. Because blinking this Skyclave is probably where we're at. Mm-hmm. I wonder if we're supposed to Swords the Plowshare or something here. We have to start being worried about like top deck natural order just kills us. I guess we're fine this turn at least because yeah. Because okay, that's decent but not a good enough thing to do. Maybe it is. Yeah, I guess specifically because it lets me waste Dryad Arbor without worrying about it. This is a Dismember. So they're going to kill Lauren, and they're going to probably try to exile it, but that won't. Yeah. So this is probably going to get the swords out of my hand, I guess. Because I don't want them to be like... I guess they're going to get what? A Bowmaster trigger? I'm probably supposed to just kill it. Although maybe... them drawing us a card is actually probably... Well, they get a 2/2 Bowmaster with Lauren, and they can tap it and make us each draw. And that would get a trigger. But that might actually be good for us if they just draw us a card. Maybe not. Orc does have a counter naturally. That's a good point. All right. I'm gonna kill this. And that's bad because that means it can kill our Skyclave, actually. So that's really important. Alright, Solitude's a banger. Okay, we figured it out. Soul Cauldron's gone, and we're glad that it is. Play lands, pass. Solitude is a very, very important draw here for us. Reclaimer is just a 1/2. Oh, that makes it a 3/4. Okay. I'm gonna just finally use this Eiganjo on something. I just want to leave them with as few creatures in play as possible. So. That is a pretty good follow-up too. This is going to be a good GT to try to close this out with before they draw. I guess a natural order here isn't even that bad. Yeah, they should have cracked the fetch just to get 2 more life. Though I don't think the game is going to be decided by that, really. One, two, three, four, 8 mana. Okay, so I think I am pretty happy if they trade with either of these, but I'm going to keep the Skyclave around still. Is this another Boseiju? Another Boseiju, okay. That's less fun, but still mostly okay. Those Endurance, that's worse. I didn't even expect that to be in their deck still, because it kind of shouldn't. But I guess they get me. Yeah, no targets makes sense. So we'll see how they block. The Solitude's probably just toast. Going to get thrown into the Endurance. Yeah, okay. I think that's all right. Thankfully, that Eiganjo has not Eiganjo, Boseiju has ramped us twice, so now we get to cast this Yorion. Blink both of these. And now I'm gonna Skyclave the... Yeah, it's still the Endurance, I think. And then with Stoneforge, we'll get Kaldra here. Marsh Flats is not what we're after, but that's okay. Pretty much has to be natural order here and nothing else. That's how a lot of these games go against Cradle Control. Natural order is like the only card that matters most of the time. Oh yeah, I love Equip Cauldron mana too. It's the best. Okay, this looks like a natural order. It could be a Green Sun Zenith actually. Yeah, Green Sun. Okay. Pretty much has to be for a Grist. Yeah, they can sack. Probably just sack the Illusion to kill the Yorions, my guess. Which is fine. Yeah, we can take a draw step here. Another Vial. So we don't have lethal with any of our attacks. But I'm pretty happy to attack Grist with... Actually, let me double check we don't have lethal. So if we put Cauldron onto the Skyclave, it's a 7/7. And they have 3 toughness worth of blockers, assuming we wasteland the Arbor. So we'd be dealing them a total of 5 going to 1. And they'd have a Grist that can plus with no other creatures out. Is that worth it? Yeah, Stoneforge is what puts them to 1 as opposed to 2. It would be 7 damage. They block 3 of the trample damage. So they take 4 plus 1 is 5. We would leave the Grist up with only 1 counter. I think that works. I think having all of their creatures out of play is probably better. Yeah, if we swing with all 3, they have to block the small creatures and they get an opportunity to trade, which they don't if we do it this way. Oops, not attacking there. I'm attacking them. Okay, cool. Scoop. We got there. And we run into friend of the stream, Geodude Jared. I don't remember. He was playing something really interesting last time we ran into each other, but I don't remember what it was. We'll see if to what extent Bowmaster is good against them. But I think this hand's fine. Not amazing, but certainly keepable. Mountain. Goblin Lackey. I am very happy to have Bowmasters against Goblin Lackey. Lackey, if you're here, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is definitely... It looks like an Elves deck. It definitely is not in like any way. Okay. What do we got? Recruiter. Yeah, I'm happy to probably recruit for a Stoneforge here. Pretty good chance that Stoneforge for GT here just wins the game. They could have Trashmaster. That's like usually like an answer to GT they have in their deck. But it's going to be a little while before they get there. So Skirk Prospector. Interesting. Just going for a ringleader. Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's hits 4 cards. We see a name sticker goblin in there. So that's a little scary. No, only 1/2 drop. Excuse me. Yeah, we are definitely getting GT here. Taking up to 3. Hopefully we hit like a Skyglaive or something like that. No. This isn't too bad though, because it means we don't have to expose our Karakas. What do I want to attack with? I think I'm gonna attack with just the Bowmaster here. I'm gonna let it die. Certainly not gonna be finishing off the ringleader because I want to use these GT counters. Oh, cool. They don't block at all. That also works for me. I just, if they took the block, I was not gonna trade up because I really want to make sure I have the 2 counters to kill Name Sticker Goblin in response to its trigger. Okay. Battlecry Goblin's fine. I can live with that. Okay. If that's all you're doing, I accept. Oh, interesting. Okay. That's fine though. Oh, sure. They activated again. That's a lot of damage. Although I guess with them tapped out, I can actually use these GT counters. So yeah, I'll just kill the Battlecry Goblin, and then this army can trade off here. Yeah, that's totally fine. No 3-drop, unfortunately. We're going to take up to 4 because we have the Solitude. Immediately draw a 3-drop, although that's honestly fine. I'm sorry, I'm not participating in the chat about whether about the flavor of GT. So I think this Wisp is just gonna just reset their Vial so that they have just a lot less resources. Because Vial on 3 there is going to be a little scary. Schadenport, miss it so much. Wish you could play in the splash builds. Yeah, I cannot tell you the flavor of the minus ability on GT. It does not really make sense. Pile driver, deal. Maybe I was supposed to just... no, I'm gonna have the mana here anyway, actually, so never mind. Gonna attack here and here. Totally fine. So we've seen Namesticker Goblin. They have Pash and Ringleader still. Neither of which I'm super worried about. So I think I'm just gonna kill the Pile Driver here. Oh, actually, I'm gonna kill Pile Driver using Bowmaster. That's way smarter. And then I'll put Yoran in my hands, and this game's probably over. Another port, so they have 6 mana. I could just cast Muxus here, so I guess we'll see how they hit. Warchief, Matron, and another Muxus. Yeah, okay. So thinking Matron for something. But it has to be a 2-drop to come into play now. And then once they do that, I'm just going to Solitude the Warchief, and then nothing can actually attack. I guess I could have also GTA'd the Warchief, but... and then do we just have... I guess we probably don't have lethal, do we? It's an awkward board. I think I will put GTA on the Solitude, attack with Solitude and Wisp, and then... this forces them to block something with the Solitude at least. Or no, it doesn't. They would be at 10, so never mind. But either way, they have to sacrifice a lot to block the Solitude. If they don't, then that's totally fine too. And now I will cast Skyclave. I'm going to get the Ringleader to play, because what I'm really going to do is Yori on them like this. This. Yeah, all these. Hi, my dog. How's it going? And now we're gonna do everything basically. Skyclave the Vial, Solitude, Muxus, Bowmaster the Matron, Wisp the Solitude, Recruiter, Stoneforge. Stoneforge will get a Cauldron, I guess. Recruiter will get another Solitude. Yeah, Namesticker Goblin is from the latest unset. They kind of did a weird workarounds to actually make it work online without implementing stickers, which is appreciated because the other option was just never getting it ever. But yeah. All right, we got there. I mean, Opposition Agent and Council's Judgment, and that might be it. Opposition Agent is basically just for Matron, but Matron really is pretty important, and these Thalias are going to be very bad. Battle of Bywater isn't very good, so... Chylith, no, we're not doing that. This hand works. Having to pitch Solitude against the Lackey on turn 1 kind of sucks, but if we don't have to, then this hand has a lot of things that are good, so... Okay, Vile. I can live with that. I have to make sure I play the Swamp next turn, since this Vista can't fetch it. War Marshal. Okay. I'm going to fetch now because I don't want more lands. And another Wasteland I'm not really interested in either. We'll see if they pay the Echo. I'm probably going to kill the token. If they do, but I'm guessing they won't. Yeah. Something's getting cast. War Chief. Sure. That's fine. Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like it's pretty obvious I have Bowmaster here, and kind of makes War Chief hard to actually attack with. Flicker Wisp, huh? Another Wisp is sort of interesting. I think I'm just going to flicker their Vile to slow things down a little bit. Hopefully they don't have anything super scary. Battlecry Goblin I can live with. Wisp can trade with it, so... Yeah, I agree. If they pay Echo, that's probably totally fine. Only one card left. Matron. That's a good card to have. Probably just getting a Muxus. Ring. Okay, Ring Leader makes sense too. What do we got? Vista. Just all lands, huh? What are we doing here? We can waste the Badlands, but they can still cast the War Chief. Oh, thanks so much for the follow, Ulyanov. We can waste the Badlands, but they can still cast the War Chief because of the... Or they can still cast the Ringleader because of the War Chief. So I think I would rather get to the point where I'm hardcasting the Solitude. trying to think about the best way I'm sequencing this over the next couple of turns. Because I feel like I want to reuse a Solitude as soon as possible with a Wisp or a Yorion, but I don't know if we can afford to just do nothing this turn, basically just put Yorion in our hands. Putting 2 Wisps in play is a decent clock, especially when they're just trying to cast a Ringleader next turn. That's not going to be doing a ton. So I think I'm supposed to cast Wisp here, and then next turn we'll cast Solitude. The turn after that we'll put Yorion in our hand and hopefully cast another spell, depending on what we draw. And I think I'm just going to take something out here. Probably the Vial again, weirdly. Yeah. Setting it back another 2 counters, basically, so. Yeah, it's important to recognize how much more scary things would be if this Ringleader was coming in off of a Vial right now, so. Here's the Ringleader. What do they hit? Prospector and Munitions Expert. Munitions Expert makes me more enticed to Wastelands next turn. I might have to Wasteland, put Yorion in my hands. All blocks. Okay. Or all attacks. How does this look? I get the 2. This Matron probably doesn't matter, but like it'll just be 1 fewer thing in play. Get rid of the 2 abilities that actually matter on the board. Yeah, I think this works. Still don't want more lands, please. Oh my god. Okay, so a little bit less worried about the Munitions Expert now, but I think we still just should Wasteland. I guess maybe not, because now the problem is if we Wasteland the Badlands, by the time the Solitude's in play, they're going to have a Vial taking up to 2 for the Expert anyway. So I think we're actually just supposed to play Wasteland, hold up Solitude. I'm going to take this. I'm probably going to flash in Solitude end of their turn. I'd just rather wait to see if I can, yeah, get something more relevant like this. Something that actually has text after it's resolved. Also, their Munitions Expert is now offline this turn, which is kind of big. If only we had Yorion in our hands. Oh no, I can Vial this Prospector. Yeah, never mind. I guess we'll see if they even use the Expert then, because maybe they'll just... No, okay, they do. Oh yeah, they're pashing me. Yeah, okay. And now thinking about whether they're doing any more. Okay. I'm sort of thinking they should have saved it too, but we'll see. Finally, a card that matters. So we're gonna Skyclave something here. I think I don't really like taking the Ringleader because it's just a 2/2. I could see taking the Prospector. I could see taking Vials. Actually, I think we're supposed to take Prospector because it makes Muxus off the top. Not a thing. And then we'll just put Yorion into our hands, and hopefully we get the time to cast that, and things start getting a bit simpler. What does that mean? If it's another expert, they would have already cast it. Could be another Pash. No, because they have to need a Violent 3 for that to matter. It could be Bowmaster, but that doesn't seem super likely. I think I'm low enough that I think I just have to make them have it if that's what it is. Or I guess the other option is just trade such that the Bowmaster doesn't change anything. Yeah, I think this actually makes more sense. Oh, it's just Lackey. Okay. We got caught. Alright. Gonna play Vial. Wasteland the Badlands. And pray that we draw any card that isn't a mana source, please. Vial counts as a mana source. Okay. We're safe this turn. That's not bad. At least means we have Vigilance for 6 mana. Port is a little annoying. Port on Karakas is going to remove our Vigilance. At least for this turn. We can waste the port next. Just all mana sources. Kept the Vials on 4 and 3. Did not go up to 6. Did not go towards 6 for Muxus, which feels good for me. Well, I guess it's something. Literally, I think Skyclave was my only non-land draw step. And a Wisp. I don't need that many lands, Trilith. This is a bit much. All right, Vile staying at 4 and 3 again. Maybe we'll draw the 4th Wasteland right now. I'm going to keep this on 3 this turn. I guess we'll see if we get paid off then. Recruiter, Solitude, Stoneforge would all be great, I think. All right, we got there. Whew. Okay, after the 0-5 last week, we redeemed it with a clean 4-1. What even was our loss to again? I already forgot. It was something dumb, right? Oh, it was lands. That's what it was. If I keep seeing lands, I'm certainly going to think about putting the red splash back in for the Magus in the sideboard, but we will see if that continues to plague me or not. Not really any other matchups that would have brought it in, I don't think. Certainly not goblins. Actually, yeah, for sure, because it was goblins and red stompy. Definitely not there. And then I wouldn't have wanted it against Grixis Delver, really. It would have been like fine, but like not really what I'm after. And I wouldn't have wanted it against Cradle Control either. The reason I wasn't playing it was mostly just because like I heard lands hadn't been as popular, and that's the like, and also just the way that I've seen a lot of the 4-color control decks be constructed. I'm like, I actually haven't even played against any beans yet, so I guess I don't want to talk too much about that, but like, hadn't seen a lot of those. It felt like 8-cast had kind of fallen off again, which is one of the other matchups where you wanted it. And I think there's just a lot of value to be had in the sideboard and other matchups, basically. And I think it's just like the cost is super small, but like there are a lot of sideboard cards I want to play. I feel like even like this 14 that doesn't have a Magus in it is like still kind of tight for me. Notably, that was another night where Fairy Macabre didn't really do much. It was okay. It would have been potentially okay against lands, but didn't come up. Our Storm Hate didn't do anything tonight either, but that can just be variance. You never know. I still feel like I see Beseech Storm and other such Storm decks pretty around quite a bit, and I would be in a pretty bad way if I didn't have like about this. I think like about this much makes sense. You could cut a Mind Break Trap maybe, but we'll see. We'll see if that pattern continues. We'll certainly have a bit more robust data streaming, multiple nights a week now. So we'll see. Definitely one thing I mentioned early on was thinking about whether I would have liked second Lauren at all. Against lands, maybe. Not against anything else. I still, again, wouldn't really know what to cut for another Lauren. I don't think I'd want to cut Skyclave. Um, I'm already shaving a mom for a Scarab Swarm in paper. Um, I really want. If Scarab Swarm isn't online by by like before Eternal Weekend, it's gonna really suck. But at least I've got a lot more paper reps over the past couple of months, so we'll see. Yeah, it is incredibly tight. Like if you have to like start getting into 3 drops, and I don't know. I've been like quite happy with Wisp lately. Just there's a lot of Gamer Champ. Thanks so much for the follow. Like Wisp is really good against Saga tokens. It's good when your own stuff gets reanimated. Things like that. I will be going to Eternal Weekend for sure. Lodging is all set. Driving distance for me, so I will 100% be there. Just go up to 90 cards. So yeah, let's get the. Can we get that? You can play an extra Yorion for every 20 cards you put in your deck. I'll go up to 100. I'll have to get another new deck box. But yeah, so we'll see. See if I want to play the Red Splash. I still have Red Splash in paper because I feel like there's always control and lands in the rooms I'm in so far, but we'll see. The lodging is all set because my wife put in a bunch of work for it, and now we have a great place to stay with a bunch of our friends. That's how it happened. And I guess I gotta like pre-register, but you can't even do that yet because when would NA Eternal Weekends be planned at all promptly? So, but anyway, I think we're gonna call the stream there with a pretty satisfying 4-1, with like I don't know, like 6 sideboard cards. We're still trying to tweak to see if they feel right, but we'll see if that even emulates into or mirrors what we end up seeing in paper over the next month or two as well. So let me take a quick browse at who's streaming to potentially raid someone. Give me just 1 minute, and then I will sign off. Let's see. I feel like I just saw my Twitch is really messing with me. Yeah, here we go. All right, we'll go ahead and raid good old Tony Scapone, playing probably some ridiculous Storm deck with foil Magic Online cards. Thank you all for stopping by as always. I hope you liked the Sunday stream. If you aren't usually able to catch my Thursdays, I'm really glad to have another stream night. We'll see how it goes for the next little while and see if it sticks. Thank you everybody for coming by. I hope I'll catch you on Thursday. If not, catch you next Sunday. And until then, I hope you have a great night and a great week.